Hello guys, on this video we want to learn the rules of differentiation. These are the rules which you have to apply in grade 12 whenever you come across a differentiation problem. So this is excluding the first principle. So the first rule number 1, I call it the constant rule. For example, you have f of x equals to b, where b is a constant, where b is a constant. Then you are asked, find the derivative, find f prime of x. How are you going to do that? You just say this is equals to 0. And this is a rule that applies all the time. If you come across a constant, the derivative of a constant is always 0. Rule number 2 is the rule which we did in the previous video. If you didn't watch the video, it's on the power rule. They call it the power rule. For example, if you have f of x equals to x to the exponent n, then f prime of x equals to nx n minus 1. nx n minus 1 to the exponent n minus 1. Let me give you an example of this one, of the constant rule, before I continue. So let's say you have f of x equals to 2, which is a constant. Therefore, f prime of x equals to 0. As simple as that. This could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be any number which is not a variable, any constant. So here we're going to give an example, e.g. I'm going to call this also e.g. So f of x equals to x squared, for example. Then f prime of x equals to 2x 2 minus 1, which is 2x. This is the power rule. Now, rule number 3. If you are finding the derivative of two functions, then you add the derivative of those two functions. For example, if you have the derivative e over x of f of x plus or minus g of x, plus or minus g of x, and this is equals to the derivative of f of x plus or minus the derivative of g of x. This is just a different notation, guys. D over dx is the same as f prime of x, is the same as f prime. This here is the same as this one, is the same as f prime. So don't be confused. This is the same. This is the second rule. For example, if you have, e.g. let me use the same color. If you have d over dx of 2x squared plus 3x to the exponent 4. This here is a function of f. For example, maybe f of x equals to 2x squared, and this here could be a function of g equals to the exponent 4. So you are adding two functions. What is the answer? The answer is d over dx of this plus d over dx of this. This is the addition rule or the multiplication rule, where the answer, let me use a different color, the answer for this would be d over dx for this, you're going to get 4, using the power rule, 4x plus 12, this one, 12x to the exponent 3. Then this is your final answer. So you are adding or minusing two functions. You simply add the derivatives of those functions. Now let's go to the last rule. The last rule, guys, if you is rule 4, if you have d over the derivative of constant multiplied by a function, the derivative of a constant multiplied by a function. So what's the answer to this? It's the constant multiplied by the derivative of that function. This is the constant multiplied by the derivative of that function. For example, if e.g. if f of x equals to x to the exponent 3, right? And then you have g of x is equals to our constant, let's call it constant 4, right? Then you are told to find the derivative of g of x multiplied by f of x, right? So this here is a constant, this here is a function. You can say this is equals to g of x d over dx. This is multiplied by the derivative of that function, where you get 4 d over dx of x exponent 3. And then here you'll have 4. What is the derivative of x cubed? The derivative of x cubed is 3x to the exponent 2. It is 3x to the exponent 2. My PowerPoint is lagging, so it's delaying me from writing. But what you're gonna have 4 multiplied by 3x to the exponent 2, and you multiply that 3 with 4, and your final answer would be, okay, it's good. Your final answer would be 12x to the exponent 2. So what did you do? You took a constant out. So the derivative of a constant, remember this is a constant, multiplied by this function over here. The derivative is that you have the right to take the constant out of the equation, and you can say the constant multiplied by the derivative of the equation. Then you get this answer over here.